Welcome to Power Ranking, a show where you, the fans, get to vote on your favorite things in video games, movies, TV, and whatever the hell else the internet can get excited for. Sadly, another decade of games has come to an end, but we compiled our own ranked list of the best games of the past 10 years, which you can check out in the link in the description. But we wanted to ask you what your favorite games of the past decade were as well. There were so many amazing suggestions, so we narrowed all of your favorites down to the 5 most mentioned. Then we pulled across all these multiple IGN platforms to find out which of those is the IGN audience's favorite game of the decade, and over 923,000 of you voted. Here are the results. In 5th place with 92,391 votes is Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead 2 is one of the most recent games on this list, but it is no surprise it ended up in the top 5. It is one of, I think, Rockstar's most acclaimed games. We, of course, at IGN gave it a 10. It was in the running for Game of the Year for us and for many other outlets, and won in many cases, so I'm not shocked that it would end up in your top 5. Anyway, moving on, in 4th place with 147,826 votes is The Last of Us. The Last of Us first debuted on the PlayStation 3, but then later came in a remastered form to the PS4. A lot of people look at it as the crowning achievement of Naughty Dog, and of course we're all anxiously awaiting if The Last of Us Part 2 can live up to it. I hope so, but we'll have to find out in a few months. However, Fox and Oxen Gaming from YouTube says, Last of Us crushes all these other games. I think I cried the first time I played it. And you're not alone in that. I cried the first time I played it, and the second and the third, I cry when I think about that game. It's so good. Anyway, in 3rd place with 157,065 votes is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild changed the game for Zelda games and for open world games in a lot of ways, and set the Switch on a course for success right at its launch. It got a 10 from IGN, and so many people in our audience and on the IGN staff still talk about that game constantly, so it's no surprise it ended up on this list. In 2nd place with 230,978 votes is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. It was so close to being 3rd for The Witcher 3. Anyway, Sydney from YouTube says The Witcher 3 was the kind of once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece you can't really ignore, and I think that is true for a lot of people, both in the wider IGN community and on staff. And of course, we're all kind of itching to or already started replaying it thanks to that Netflix Witcher series. And last but not least, your favorite game of the decade with 295,651 votes, as voted by you, the audience at home, is Grand Theft Auto 5. That's right, GTA 5 got about 32% of the total votes, so congrats to Rockstar for being on this list twice. That's really impressive. Christmas Imago from YouTube says, as much as I love RDR2 and The Witcher 3, GTA 5 will always be the best game of the decade because it has a story that's replayable and an amazing online mode I always come back to. And considering that GTA 5 is almost always on NPD's best-selling games of the month list, you are not alone in that. So congrats to GTA 5 on that rousing win. Anyway, of course, we got some other suggestions from all of you in the comments, including this one from Dr. Teddy Bear. I like that as a doctor's name. From YouTube, who said Skyrim. I'm actually surprised Skyrim didn't end up on this list. It's pretty much been ported to every console in existence, including Alexa, but sadly, that wasn't enough to crack the top 5. Meanwhile, The Sane from YouTube says Persona 5, and last but not least, Persona 5. While I would totally agree with you, Persona 5 is one of my favorite games of all time. Having never played a Persona game before, I don't think it quite got enough votes to crack the top 5, but I'm anxiously awaiting Persona 5 Royal. Anyway, if you missed this poll, too bad. Do your part and get yourself on all these IGN platforms to get your vote in now for the next poll, because there are no redos. But is there anything else we left off that should have been number 1? Do you agree or disagree with the results of this ranking? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, for all the games in this upcoming decade, keep it locked to IGN.
Toss a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty, O Valley of Plenty. Oh.